Hi guys, welcome to week 2 of our October curriculum. This video is for Monday and Tuesday, and so before we get going, get your body warmed up with some exercises, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, and then some front ups, getting your legs stretched out, and then finish up with 30 seconds of something that's really going to get your heart going, like doing high knees for 30 seconds, holding a plank, or doing some mountain climbers. All right, ready, set, go. Okay, guys, so today we are taking our crescent kicks. We've got inside crescent kick and outside crescent kick, and we're going to put them together in a fun little kicking combination exercise that helps them flow easier, and you can really feel the difference between the two of them when you put them together, right? So remember, crescent kick is an up and over half circle move, okay? So in your ready stance, you take your back leg, starting with an inside crescent kick. That means you swing from the outside, finishing up and over with your feet across, with your kicking foot across, and then resetting back to your ready stance. So that's inside crescent kick. Now remember, outside is taking that same leg but moving the opposite direction. So we bring it across first and then kick up and over. Okay, again, it's you cross, up and over. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these two kicks and put them together in a combination. It's really easy to do. Take your back leg, first comes inside crescent kick, and then just come right back with an outside crescent kick. Again, it's inside, outside. Okay, one more time. Inside, outside. All right? And when you switch your feet, same thing, starting with an inside crescent kick. And instead of resetting back to your ready stance, you just swing it back over in that outside crescent kick. One more time. It's inside, outside. All right? So now that you've got the hang of that, putting those two kicks together, it flows nicely. You can practice that combination using those hip and leg muscles, controlling that leg so you're not swaying and like spinning around and falling all over, right? Just try to keep that front foot glued to the ground, inside, outside, okay? And so here's a great way to practice. Find something around your house that maybe it only needs to be this tall, or maybe this tall, right? About as high, somewhere between your knee and your waist, okay? If you find something that's as tall as your waist and you can kick really high, maybe like the back of a chair, or just like the arm of a chair, right? If you guys have like a recliner chair. But I want you to practice going up and over and back, okay? And practicing it with both legs, inside, outside, going up and over something. I'll show you from this angle so you can see I don't need to stand too close. I only need to get my foot up and over, right? Don't stand so close that you gotta try and get your whole leg up and over. That makes it really hard to do. You only need to get your foot over the top, inside, outside, all right? So I want you to do 10 on each side, okay? So that means you do inside, outside, and that's 1, okay? Once you get to 10, switch your feet, inside, outside, that's 2, okay? And that's 1, okay? So doing that 10 times on each side, inside, outside, crescent kick, ready, set, go. All right, so today we're going to practice some more of that 1, 2, 3, 4 drill. Just remembering, when you have your right side back, your front leg is number 1. Your forward hand is a number 2, palm strike. Your reverse hand, reverse palm, is number 3. Back leg, pivot leg is number 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Take some time to practice the different numbers. Say the numbers out loud as you're striking. Have someone give you some different number combinations. Okay, so what we're going to do in class here is let each person take turns calling out numbers for everyone to do. Okay, so just remember, it's front leg is number 1, front hand is number 2, reverse hand is number 3, pivot leg is number 4. Okay, and make those kicks and palm strikes good, right? It's not just 1, right? Have some energy, be ready. 1, 1. Get that nice chamber kick, retract back to balance, all 4 parts. 1, 1. When you do number 2, 2, right? Really snap it out there. 2. Make it intense. Number 3, 3. And 4. Same thing with that pivot. Right? Or say 4. All right? Make them good moves. If you're standing there with your hands down, right? Parents, if you're watching them and they're just standing with their hands kind of down here willy-nilly, have them do some extra push-ups, right? They should be in ready stance with their hands up, ready for numbers to be called out. And you can do combinations of number, pairs of numbers, 3 different numbers together, or if they're feeling really brave and ready for a challenge, call out 4 different numbers, okay? So, practicing the 1, 2, 3, 4 drill. If it's just getting super easy and you need an extra challenge, switch your feet, right? Because then 1 is your forward hand, forward foot, 2 is your forward hand, 3 is your pivot hand, 4 is your pivot leg, right? So if you switch your feet, that changes which number goes with which limb. Okay, so if you're really wanting a challenge, switch your feet and try getting the correct numbers that way as well. All right, practice that 1, 2, 3, 4 drill. Ready, set, go. All right, today, last thing we're going to go over is taking our palm, reverse palm combination and putting it together with bob and weave. Okay, so just working on the combination, you've got your right side back. Remember, always start with your forward hand. So we've got palm, reverse palm, and then we're going to bob and weave to your right, come up, and palm, reverse palm, okay? A lot of times what I like to do when I'm doing a bob and weave, it's not just moving to the side, but it's actually moving around the person that's striking at you, right? So if they're striking at me with their right hand, I don't want to just step to the side, but I want to actually work my way around. So what I do is I take my back leg, I step over, and then when I come up, I put my other leg back. And now I've come around them. I'm not just back here off to the side, but I've made my way around, and then I can follow up with more palm strikes. All right, so I want you to practice, starting with your right side back, palm, reverse palm, bob and weave, come up. Oh, now you've switched your feet. Palm, reverse palm, okay? And then come on back. Bob and weave, palm, reverse palm, bob and weave, palm, reverse palm, okay? So if you have somebody with you who can give you something to bob and weave underneath, remember you bob and weave to the outside of the arm. You don't want to bob and weave to the inside and end up between their hands. You want to end up behind them, not all the way around behind them, but you make your way to where you're on this side of them when you come back up, right? So if you have mitt holders, you can do hold the mitts out, 1, 2 on the mitts, give them a side to bob and weave under, and then give them the mitts again, and then come back the other way, mitts this way, and come back this way, right? So it's going palm strike, bob and weave, palm strikes, bob and weave, keeping those mitts close together as you're holding them out. We don't want to hold them out like this because then they're practicing hitting unrealistically, or if they don't even cross and they're going way out like that. We want those punches to go as close together for targeting as we can. All right, so bob and weave with the palm, reverse palm. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, so today on our self-control sheet, we're talking about number 2 and number 3 on our sheet. Number 2 says, not talking back to my parents. How many of you guys have tried to get your parents to change their mind about something, or you spoke to your parents in a way that you probably wouldn't like to be spoken to by them. Okay? Yes, I know that sometimes parents get upset. Adults have to work on self-control as well, so we got to practice not talking back as well. Okay? But even if one person struggles with talking back, doesn't make it okay for you to talk back. Remember, self-control is controlling your behavior and impulses. That means it's up to you to decide to behave well. And that means the way that you speak to your parents. And not just your parents, but anybody who's in charge. So maybe at school, your teacher at school, here at the studio with me and any of the helpers or instructors who are helping lead class. Okay? That means when somebody says, hey, it's time to do this, don't respond with, oh, but I don't want to. Oh, why do we have to do that, right? That's talking back. And that's unacceptable. That's disrespectful. Last month we learned a lot about respect and what it means to treat people the way we want to be treated. And when you complain and whine at people, or if you say disrespectful things to your parents like, why do you always make me do this? Why do I have to do that? That's disrespectful, guys. When your parents say it's time to do something, or they ask you a question, using kind words and tone of voice, responding with, okay, Mom, okay, Dad, is really important. The Bible says that children should obey their parents, or honor your father and mother, so that it will go well for you. Okay? And that means speaking respectfully, not talking back to your parents or anyone else who's in charge, including grandparents, teachers, aunts and uncles, instructors, right? Anyone who's in charge, you need to speak with them with respect and not talking back. All right, let's talk about number 3. Not grabbing at things that aren't mine. How many of you have maybe walked into a room, maybe at home or somewhere else, and you see like a dish of candy? I know Halloween's coming up. That day is a little bit different, right? People sometimes put a bowl of candy out on the porch for you to take a piece when you're trick-or-treating if they're not able to answer their door, right? But on other occasions, you walk into a room, you see a bowl of candy or some kind of container, and your first thought is like, oh, I want one, so you go and grab one without asking. Was that yours? No. You should always ask politely. Same goes with toys or anything else that maybe someone is already holding on to, or just anything that doesn't belong to you. If you're wanting to touch it, pick it up, take a look at it, you need to always ask permission. Last week, with respect, talking about treating people the way I want to be treated. Do you like it when people grab your things? Do you like it when people take your stuff without asking? No. So make sure that you control the impulse to take it and grab it. You got to control that impulse. You got to decide that you're going to behave respectfully and kindly to not grab at the things that aren't yours. And that's a great way to practice self-control. All right, you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.